What's up, guys? So the question of the day today is, can red meat cause cancer, and are there any solutions to this? If you want to know the answer, keep watching this video and you'll find out. Okay, so can red meat cause cancer? On a population-wide basis, there is definitely an association between cancer risk and red meat. So the association has been shown actually numerous times through research studies, and it shows about anywhere from a 16% to a 20% increase in your risk of cancer. So what you're about to learn is that red meat in itself can't cause cancer, but cooking red meat actually can. But cooking red meat, there are actually 3 different compounds that are formed, and they're called mutagens. So what mutagens are is there are actually several compounds found in red meat after the cooking or processing, and those have carcinogenic potential. So these compounds are not inherent to the red meat, but they are side effects of introducing either foreign preservatives or by treating the meat with fire. So these compounds are called heterocyclic amines, or HCAs. Another one is polyaromatic hydrocarbons, or PHAs. And the third one would be nitrosamines, or NAs. Okay, so for heterocyclic amines, they can actually have their formation prevented in the red meat by marinating the meat in certain reducing agents like herbs and certain types of oils like that are antioxidant oils. So that would be prior to cooking. For polyaromatic hydrocarbons, they're formed in the incomplete combustion of fatty acids in meats. So these compounds are produced most when inadequate oxygen is supplied to the meat and above temperatures that exceed 250 degrees Celsius. So they are the most concerned when grilling burgers in a non-ventilated hood. And there's really no inherent way to prevent PAH formation in meats other than allowing sufficient oxygen while cooking and keeping cooking temperatures fairly low. Like I said, below that 250 degrees Celsius range. Okay, and then the third one that I talked about, I said nitrosamines. So they're actually formed when dietary nitrates are paired with amino acids. So the most common meat sources of nitrates are found in pink meats, such as ham, pork, and bacon, due to them being great preservatives. So combining nitrates with reducing agents can actually prevent a good deal of the nitrosamine formation. And this is actually a reason why dietary nitrates from your vegetables, certain leafy greens, are not associated with increased cancer risk. And this is because vegetables actually have a lot of reducing agents already in them. However, meat doesn't inherently have these reducing agents in it. So anyways, the takeaway point here is make sure that you look into certain antioxidant oils to marinate your meats before you're actually cooking them for sufficient amounts of time. Make sure you're also allowing sufficient oxygen to be supplied to the meat while you're cooking it. This may mean cooking on an open grill. I'm not sure how George Foreman's would do. There isn't a whole lot of oxygen coming in. It's not completely sealed, but it's sealed. I just realized something as I was editing this video that I never talked about. So when you hear everybody talk about antioxidants and their cancer-preventing properties, antioxidants are actually synonymous with reducing agents. They mean the same thing. And one really notable reducing agent is vitamin C. So making sure that you have adequate vitamin C in your diet is really good for cancer prevention and just immune health in general. So anyways, 2 takeaway points. Adequate ventilation while you're cooking. Also, find some sort of oil that you can marinate your ingredients in prior to actually cooking. And this oil should be some sort of herb or antioxidant oil. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Super simple video for you. So if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Alright, have a good one, guys.